gonna try to film this. I have problems with my peripheral port now. Evidently I got a coolant leak because it had gotten cold here. Let's see if I can film this. This is the best I can do. I'm gonna crank it over and I'll let you know it's the front rotor. I have the exhaust off so you can see it. And if I crank it, it has milky white like water, and it doesn't smell all that fuelish. And I got the carbs off now, the exhaust off, but the spark plug's still hooked up because I want to show you this, because it gives me pressure in the radiator when it shouldn't, like it's got a coolant seal leak. If you look now, see all this milky substance here? It was probably sprayed at the camera here. See all that bullshit? That's the front one, that's the rear one. Rear one doesn't have the problem and it's dry. And you just heard it gargle a bunch. So I got coolant seal problems on it. So I'm gonna have to take this out and rebuild it, or put a 12A together that has the Holley manifold in it so I can go blow through, so I can go turbocharged in it. You'll see even right here, this was wiped down even before I did that, and you see all that bullshit, all that nasty fucking, smells like glycol, you know, because it's got some kind of issue. Luckily it ain't rusted and it's free. Still got oil pressure, so that front rotor is all fucked. So I literally have to take this whole thing apart, starting with the rear iron, working my way forward, because the rear iron's what puts it together. So literally I have to fucking unbolt it from the I have to unbolt the transmission, because every time I pull one of these, I have to fuck with the goddamn transmission. I cannot put this motor on this transmission with the transmission in. I don't know why. Other people can, I can't. So I gotta figure out here in fucking housing, gotta figure out how I'm gonna fucking take this coolant off, drain the coolant well enough that I can not make a fucking mess too. And I gotta drain the fucking oil and figure out where I'm storing all this stuff, where I'm gonna do with it, so I can take this engine apart. So yeah, that's my problem. So I think it was caused by I had a lot of water, some water wetter, and I had a little bit of glycol, ethylene glycol for the coolant, you know, the 50-50 stuff. And it got cold in a couple of cold snaps at 20-degree weather or something. Fucked up one of the rubbers. So yeah, I have another set of rubbers to use, and I could just put it back together after I tear it apart, but I don't know what wore in with what. So, wee.